Oh, never mind!
Blitz is great as well into this misfortune. I mean, anything that's going to be able to, at range, grab a stationary target is going to feel really good about this, and Jace also is somewhat reliant on his ability to set up these engages from a distance.
There, and not something like a Lux. You obviously don't need to worry too much about just getting poked into oblivion. As level 2 has been found. Heroic Charge, no stun here from Keria, as now Lehans finds the hook. Onto Keria, gets the knock up, but now he's taken so much damage. Smashed, one more auto will do it, and he flashes forward to pick it up. That's first blood in this bottom lane, as the flash from Gio is so weird alongside that heroic charge. One more auto would do it, but it's not gonna be there, and it's a double in the bottom lane for T1. Okay,
oh,
so
man.
This is how it's gonna go.
These skirmishes are gonna go for Nongshim, because they definitely had an itchy trigger finger on that bottom side fight. Let's see if they can quickly try to use this prio to grab Dragon and then turn to the grubs, because if you end up losing a lot of control early, it's going to be a disaster, and Gideon's in trouble.
Ona's going in, but Keria taking a fair bit of damage as well. Steadfast presence as he misses the Mystic shot there. Does Jiwoo, and Lehen's going to pay the price for it. Smash grabs yet another kill as Arcane Shift gets Jiwoo out of there. And I believe he agrees. King now looking for a bit of an angle as Keria moving on up. Doran moving in as well as another heroic charge. Kingen trying to get himself out of there as the Crescent Guard is now on cooldown. Faker very low though, cannot join this fight as the hook is going to connect. Can they actually CC this Xin Zhao enough? That's the question. Gideon diving on top of him, flashes forward. Owner is healing though, and is going to survive. Good shield there as Kingen comes in to protect his jungler. And now Doran should be able to just finish off Fisher. If that hook had landed, Fisher able to flash his way out, but now Kingen's the one that eventually will pay the price.
Oh man, Nongshim committing so heavily to this one. Len should be able to get the execute here at the end of the day, but ultimately still another kill over to T1. They will be able to secure 2 out of 3 grubs at the end of the day. Fisher also losing his flash. Only Gio with his flash left remaining here across the side of Nongshim. As Keria looking for a buckler and won't find it, but ooh, that was a bit of a messy one.
I would say so too. Keria going to take the quick way out.
Now just no real control. Kingen is just like, let's see how good Cassante is. I have no flash.
Yeah. Does have his ultimate back off cooldown, but let's see what he can actually get done here as the Steadfast Presence gets him into the wall. There's the bullet time, and he's dead.
It's just systematic here by T1, and the cross map Doran is like, well, I'm just not going to take a chance. I'm just going to walk away.
Almost a go next type situation here as far as Nongshim are concerned. Doran just looking to hold on to the wave, and Lehens can't really seem to hit a hook on his former top laner. And looks like Doran, he can land a few shock blasts. Lehens going to have to back himself out of the way.
I just don't know if it's really about the misfortune. Like in the bottom 2v2, her damage was big as Doran.
All right, there's cease and desist. Let's see whether they can actually get the kill. They pull him back, but now it's Keria to remove Gideon from the equation. Still, Doran does go down. Faker teleporting in. I don't know about that one because he's trying to get himself out. A little bit weird as far as how the Observer PC managed to figure that one out, but Faker not able to get him far enough with the shifting sands. And that is 2 comeback kills here for Nongshim. Don't know whether it's going to be enough, but it's a good start.
It's definitely a step in the right direction for Nongshim, but that type of proactivity is a tough call to make, especially you know, when you're at such high risk. You know, the damage is important. And here, when you're just locking somebody down and you just press R, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a look at it happening one more time. Let's see whether the Cassante shenanigans can actually bring Kingen out of this one. The all-out just not going to be invested, so he's just going to die.
Okay. That's,
yep.
Scrubs here. And beyond the death's top side, I was going to mention this before, which no longer relevant, but it was almost perfect game pace for T1 leading up until that because they had everything else. The Dragon is theirs as well because Owner was on the bottom side taking that while that top side play was happening. And Lehen's, like, you've got to be, you know, first he wasn't hitting all of the important hooks, but now it's like, well, do you want to hook anybody? Is it safe to hook any target anymore? And these zonings, Gio out of farm as well. And, you know, you can see Kingen is like, cool, I've got my Shadow Jungler bottom side. I'll eventually get this one, but it is never going to be a race that you win.
Yeah. And Gio still going to get pressured here. 4 people towards the top side of the map.
He's going to have on top of dealing with Ezreal pretty well, but now we can deal with the poke. From those Qs from Gio, so it's just a really tough matchup for Gio, and that's just another turret gone. So first, I feel like if he went Nashor's Tooth first, they might have even been able to get bigger advantages. That's normally what you do with Azir, but he saw the Cassante on the other side, and he was like, well, let's go for the Leandries first. I think it's a wise choice, but given what we know now, he probably wishes he did it the other way.
Yeah. Well, there's a heroic charge onto Jude. If it doesn't get the stun, then the bullet time doesn't get a whole lot of value. As we get a bit of a zoom in, Jonas Strong also thought Lahens might go for something, but as it turns out, he did not.
And then T1 push mid.
Well, True Shot Barrage going to try and help clear out this wave. Lahens making his way over, but this turret is just dead. And because Carrier can channel the ultimate, that's all you really need to worry about. That can protect their escape very comfortably. And in the meantime, Faker also taking another inner turret. There's only one inner turret left. And that's a Rift Herald as well.
Yeah, I mean, T1 are just farming Nongshim right now. Like,
yeah.
Everything that's red belongs to me. Everything the light touches is T1's kingdom. And definitely the most one-sided game I've commentated in 2025.
Yeah, I would definitely be alongside you on that opinion, my friend. As Kingen is desperately going to try and defend this indefensible inner turret.
Faker has Nashers now. Already got that inner, so there's not a whole lot of like side lane hitting of turrets to do, but he still can hit the champions pretty hard. And the Leandri's damage into Kingen is going to hurt a lot. The LDR that's done at this point in time for Smash is going to hurt a lot. Jiu has his second item, but he
oh no,
Gideon
just completely isolated now. And yeah, Smash able to hit him mid-Vault Breaker with a bullet. And that's going to be enough to get rid of the Vibe.
We might have that trademark 20-minute objective from T1 in this game, except it'll be an Otacon this time.
Yeah, I think it will definitely be a 25-minute Baron as well, if we actually make it to 25 minutes. That's kind of my theory.
Oh!
All right, there's a pick onto Carrier. Hook is going to land that time. Kingen going to whiff the Q.
2-item Azir. He kind of likes to just hit objectives and do a lot of damage to them. And you know, it's a little bit later than on 20, but about 2015.
Yep, and we're also standing on some vision here on Nongshim's side. Let's see whether they can get some sort of steal happening, as there is the flash forward. Gideon steals it, and now they get a free ticket home. Can they grab themselves some kills as well? That's the question. As 200 gold going over to Owner as they are just kind of farming these Otacon buffs. Still, it's not as bad as dying. I would assume many people thought about when they were considering this, because Nongshim have had some really creative draft ideas. As I'm going to have to hold that thought, because we might have a fight breaking out. Nongshim all grouped as 5. Carrier with that Keeper's Verdict can really make things tough. As Doran on a flank angle, Fisher over the wall there as well. Cease and desist to get on top of him. And Doran's just being thrown around this fight like a ragdoll. Fisher is now found by Carrier, who does just evict Jiu. Empress Divide goes wide, though, is now Kingen trying to stay alive, but he's still at Otacon buff for another 20 seconds, so that's kind of cute. That's going to be Owner taking away the Dragon. Flash out from Faker avoids the hook as Jiu makes his way back into the fight.
Coming.
It's a 1-for-1 so far, but like you say, Kingen making his way back into the battle might mean that T1 aren't exactly getting out scot-free. True Shot Barrage does sail by and does nothing at all. Owner and Faker getting to work on this Dragon. Cease and desist is going to connect onto Smash. Keeper's Verdict just to get rid of the damage, and down goes the jungler. And that will mean Baron is available if T1 would like to take it, as now Kingen being discovered by Owner is exactly what Nongshim do not want. Just pick after pick here for T1, and 1 versus 5, I don't think he's going to be able to get that one. Lahens going to get picked up by that Emperor's Divide and will be cut down where he stands as well by the onslaught of Sand Soldiers. And T1, I don't know whether they even necessarily need to take the Baron. They might just do it because they feel like it, but I think also pushing into the enemy base might be a way to win.
Yeah, well, it looks like Fisher's flash isn't going to be enough to get him out of here. And
To the Skies was both a request and the name of the ability.
Yes. I think that with the Azir damage here, they could easily just 2-man this, and then the remainder of these minions, which aren't really being thinned out by anyone, will just end the game here for T1. Faker does have teleport as well, so he can just TP to mid, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's looking for the second inhibitor here. They can start to collapse in with these Baron-buffed cannon minions to say goodnight.
Well, there's finally a hook connecting onto Doran. Nice work, Lahens. We got there, even though it is a little bit too little and perhaps too late. Inhibitor goes down, top side and mid. And Nongshim are at least, I mean, they're breathing.
Yeah, T1 decide not to opt for the end. Interestingly, now they're in an awkward spot here.
Well, Lahens is also in an awkward spot. Wind becomes lightning, doesn't actually amount to too much. As Kingen, stopped by the Steadfast Presence, Jiu needs to offer some damage back to at least deter them. The flash forward to miss the Q is not exactly what you want. As now Ona possibly out of position as well. Crescent Guard does absolutely nothing as now Kingen gets an all-out onto Doran. Nongshim actually finding some angles here as Faker is now on the floor. Keria and Smash the only ones left alive.
I mean, it's the Baron buff minions to then kind of siege the Nexus and stay together, but they kind of fragmented themselves off. Had a bit of a late retreat.
He does do a decent job taking them down, but now that the siege is on, this is where things get dangerous. Out goes King and in goes Keria. Ona looking for an advantage onto Jiu, who's trying to stay alive, but the bullet time says absolutely not. Lahen's down to 50%, make that 30 and make that dead. Emperor's Divide doesn't do a whole lot because the all-out gets King and through it, but he also heads straight to the death chamber. It's a triple kill for Smash. Fisher the last man standing, and there was a blip. There was a bit of a hiccup, but ultimately the outcome was still the same as it's been dictated throughout the entirety of the game. T1 just too good in this game number 1.
Very dominant game from T1.
Yeah, okay, so that's Keria's Pike. We know just how good he is on this champion, but that is definitely the opposite of a tank. That is as far the opposite of a tank that you can possibly get. This guy cannot even get health.
Tanks are not allowed in this game, so...
And the build that he's been going has been a lot more like Rod of Ages, Seraph's style of builds, as the flash from Fisher is odd, misses the Q, now unbinds, gets the flash out of Faker, because Faker is respecting Lahen's.
It would have been way worse if the wall was actually tight there, and he wasn't able to work his way out.
Yeah. He's going to be maxing the E. I'm wondering when he's going to put extra points into the wall. I remember Froggen like used to do these weird things because the guy played Anivia so much that he'd like have different games where he'd like max wall first as there's a hook connecting, sorry, a cocoon connecting as Faker just Valkyrie's away. Ona makes his way in, makes his way out.
Sitting on about 200 or so at the moment.
Well, Kingen continuing to just try and hit Smash with things. Doesn't, I believe, manage to tag him with the frost there. Oh dear, Lahen's is just dead.
High value ward.
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
Sometimes respecting the wards is a good idea, as once again First Blood is trying to fight against Doran. And Doran silences himself and does a lot of damage here to Jiu. Does get a little bit on the back end. Into the brush as the Flame Spitter is able to help out. So the arrow not exactly getting the value that Jiu really wanted. That one in the top lane was certainly not one you want. This could be another opportunity for that, as now Lahen's wants to be able to find it. Cocoon now going to connect as he flashes on over. Fisher's in so much trouble, still going to survive. They take down the Lee Sin first, the repel to get Lahen's out of dodge. And now Jiu's on the board, picks up the kill onto Keria. Faker now in trouble, and it's a double for the Ashe. Nongshim coming back in a big way here in game 2.
Let me know when you're done with that.
Yeah. I think I'll write my thesis on it. I'll try and get a PhD in
I think if you had a
Diego interactions.
If you had a group of 20...
Oh, okay. There is the Safeguard kick flash onto Jiu, who is very dead.
All right, well, there you go.
Yep, revenge for the Yone. But that is one grub going on down, as Wojcik is going to give away the position here of Smash. Keria comes in though, lands the Bone Skewer as Kingen's in a bit of trouble as well. Lahen's is just dead. Explosions there as the ulti's looking really cool. A double in theory, but it is just egg form. And still, that's a 4-man ult from Fisher! Smash gonna get ripped to shreds! And they take down Faker as well. Back immediately channeled here as Keria is trying to go home. And now flashing over the wall is Gideon, safeguarding out his owner, and I think he will survive.
He's there, I think 99% they know he's in that brush, but they thought they could get the kill onto owner. Flash committed, they don't get either of them. So it's a nice trade back there and an incredible ultimate from Fisher. It could have been even better. And T1, again, if you walk into this team fight with Nongshim, you better hope you're wiping it clean.
To the top, right? He can slow everyone so much. It can make some of these Yone plays work out. As Kingen also may just be dead, which would also be bad, but Ona's going to dive in. There's the safeguard kick as Lahen's comes through. Ona is going to die, so it's a 1-for-1. But Lahen's is now finding himself a little bit trapped underneath this turret. That turret is very angry. And Smash taking a lot of damage here. Lahen's, I don't know about this one, buddy. Still, can he get in range of the Q? As there's the repel, and he gets the execute. Not enough that Keria can do about it, as now Faker will turn up. But Fisher is now landed. Keria looks for the ultimate, doesn't quite find it, but still, the stun is going to connect. Keria going to be falling, as we've also got Gideon getting eaten by a very angry robot Yordle. And Jiu, can he actually avenge him? The answer is perhaps, because we just continue to fight here in this game. Doran now running for the hills. Faker looking for Fisher. He flashes, he picks it up. And it's 8-8 as far as the kill score. And if we don't get a Ruinous Otacon in this game, I will eat my hat.
It might be the one.
My hat, unfortunately, does not exist. However, I will eat nothing. Just for you guys, just so that I can remain true. Okay, Lahen's going to find the cocoon onto Ona here, who puts him up into the sky. Kingen just continuing to try and push them away. Gets stunned and now has no real way out, and will be taken out of there.
Oh man, my man Lahen's trying to make some big heroic plays in this mid game and starting to backfire a little bit here. You still can blow them up, but it's going to get a little bit tougher once you start losing control of objectives. Speaking of, they do have control of Herald now. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, Nongshim, I think if they can convince T1 to walk into them and that first pick does actually come through, the amount of, you know, snowball potential within a fight is extraordinarily high with things like the Viego. But that is the Rift Herald going down. Gideon able to pick up the eye just fine. Hens did that Lahen's was going to be in that brush. And let's see whether Jiu knows it, and he does. As Bone Skewer still going to connect, and Jiu just going to be able to find the hook, so it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Let's see whether Gideon can make it a 2-for-1, but the Bone Skewer not quite as good coming from the Viego, and he gets himself out. Wishy Elise.
Well, it's still going to be the turret going over to T1 here topside. Faker's teleport not punished. He's even going to let some of these minions go with it, or at least some damage on that cannon.
But can T1 actually fight their way back into some control around this river as Gideon pushing forward? Arrow going to connect there onto Ona. The double stun, the layering CC, but he gets himself out with the safeguard, and now Gideon is burning down Faker Valkyries to reposition, and now it smashes Killer Instinct. He didn't even need a button with that name on it. He already just had that, but it is working out for them. Carrier looking for another Bone Skewer, but honestly, the damage has been done. 3 on the floor for Nongshim, and maybe even more as the ulti gets Fisher out, but Kingen, he doesn't have one of those. Burning, but now he's just going to have to flap his way out. And this outer turret, sorry, not long for the world as T1 just look to take down the stragglers. Oh dear, yeah, that is a Void Seeker that's going to put him down towards the egg. And down goes Yone as well. Faker's health bar suffered a little bit, but nothing to worry about. As now Otacon could be an option here.
So T1 are just better today, and I mean, this is a AP Anivia, not very tanky. He's about to hit Rod of Ages and the Seraph's transform, but it's just too little too late. The scaling is definitely high in terms of what she can do damage-wise later, but I don't know if it's going to matter.
Well, Kingen is going to do his best to try and find an angle, and Faker is going to make it impossible for any value to be collected. Gives him the good old thumbs up as Void Seeker is going to find him. My goodness.
In those moments, you know, we haven't seen Nivea that much really ever in a while, and Zeus did it one time, and now we're like, oh, could this be a thing? Could we see a Nivea? That's kind of hype. Please live, King. I don't know.
I also think he got his Seraph's transform
right in time.
As
Fire, and Smash is going to sit here in mid. This 4-1 Otacon play is so oppressive. A lot of teams would just look for a dive here, but T1 don't need to. They know that Nongshim can't punish. They can't look for the picks like their comp wants to while they're sieged up like this.
Oh dear, Doran possibly in trouble. The wall goes down, Repel goes up, and remember they have Otacon, but this is still a bunch of money going over to Nongshim. They just need to make sure that they do not die. Killer Instinct gets Smash in there as they take down Jiu. 1 for 2 sent back home.
Buying some time here.
Yep, counter siege for Anivia is no joke, as now Fisher is going to take an equalizer ride. He did not want that. Another equalizer is there now in the form of a Valkyrie, and Faker didn't even really need it as far as the damage. Fisher is just, yeah, being
1v1. This was not the play.
Yes, not the droids you were looking for. Okay, Lahen's is just thrown into a Bone Skewer. That was sexy. That was a sexy play. Longer in the earlier stages to really assert their lead. And now that they have it, things are looking real dire. And Carrier doesn't miss those. Once again, that is a dead Ashe.
Yeah, sometimes against these Carrier spears, you gotta just flash it, man.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, maybe I'll dodge. You don't dodge this guy.
I mean, if I was playing against him, I would probably, my way of dodging it would be to be in the fountain.
The problem is if you flash his hook, then you don't have your flash for his next one. He's not going to miss, you know. Yeah, he was in deep trouble there. T1 going to grab this Baron on spawn again. And this game is just, unfortunately, very quickly spiraling out of Nongshim's grasp.
Is he going to stop that? Now Carrier looking for an opportunity to take him down. He's going to slink through. Does get tagged as, oh god, just like 3 buttons and he's dead. Fisher not going to be allowed to escape here. Does get a big old shield as he flashes on top of Faker. He almost goes down. Eventually Gideon does secure that kill as the Bone Skewer this time just barely going to go wide. And Dorian going to get taken down. Gideon now finding some of these angles, some of these opportunities as he gets on top of Smash with a Heartbreaker. Now Geo with these auto attacks as Carrier, it's just going to get autoed down. And Ona possibly out of position. There's the kick. Follows in order to take down Gideon, but the stun is going to be there, and there's the Ash damage we've been waiting for. Nongshim!
You don't respect him. He has a ton of really crazy snowballing champions on T1's side to utilize there as well. The damage coming out of the stolen Corki was unreal. That's going to be a lot of gold over to Nongshim here. Smash is like, I got a flash. That's way too much damage. Uh-oh.
I've seen this movie before.
Well, for 6th time this game.
And this did happen in game number 1 as well, right?
Yes.
It was the negative Rebel Baron power play into T1 saying, haha, I guess we'll just win. And then they did. This does have an Anivia in it, so maybe that just win is going to take a little while longer. But Ona says he's going to split push, take down a mid lane inhibitor turret, and T1 to continue to push forward. King in. Gonna get just engaged on here by Carrier. King goes golden. Carrier likely to die as Gideon is just burning. That is going to be the rocket to take him down. Actually, the last tick of Ignite, I believe, was what removed him there. And Nongshim continuing to play defense. Arrow going to connect onto this Rumble as the ulti from Fisher. It might be enough there to be able to take him down, but instead he goes golden. Ona now taken down to his GA. Smash just getting autoed down by Gio, who's standing and delivering as far as this damage is concerned. If he's not instantly killed, things can be better unless Ona does that. And now the entire bottom lane is being wiped out. He does have to sacrifice himself for it. Speaking of sacrifices, Doran will be taking down Fisher, the hero, as Kingin versus Faker, a tale as old as time, or at least one that's at least 3 years old. On Summoner's Rift. This could be another one, though, as Carrier going to look for a Bone Skewer, connected after the Heartbreaker. This guy is sick. Ona now looking to try and connect that Q, but the arrow is going to be what lands. Nice little stun there as in goes Ona looking for another opportunity. Kingin just trying to play defense. This picks him out of the air again! How does Carrier keep doing this? Now looks for the engagement in the backline, sacrifices himself at Smash to find an avenue in. He's gonna take down Jiu, and Fisher somehow misses everyone with that ultimate. That actually, I don't think that's on Fisher. That should have hit something, I think. As now Faker is gonna say enough with the shenanigans, and he's looking to end this game right here. The most kills in a game here for the LCK Cup ever. And Fisher is still going to try and get more, at least give more. It's 2 go down before Smash is given some time with this Nexus. Doran also going to be able to clear out the kill onto King and gets the ace. And this is going to be the 2-0 for T1. Welcome to the playoffs of the LCK Cup. You'll be up against either DRX or Humble Life Esports, depending on who wins the next best of 3. But T1 right now looking like the team to beat in this tournament.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.